Welcome back to GKeeping, and today I'm going to show you how to hit the perfect long ball. After you have found a pretty even spot on the field where you feel comfortable to strike, you need to find the right distance towards the ball. Therefore, I would recommend you in moving 7 regular steps backwards, while making sure of having a width of approximately 2 steps. Starting with the foot where you eventually strike the ball, you should make 4 powerful steps towards the ball. So far, the technique seems pretty easy, right? But there are some details where we need to pay attention to. So let's move back to the moment where I strike the ball. Starting from the feet and going all the way up to the arms, we are now talking about the 4 essential pieces in the moment of striking. First of all, we are looking into the positioning of our feet, and therefore we need to differ between the setting foot and the shooting foot. You want to make sure that the distance between the ball and your setting foot is approximately 1 foot length wide. And in addition to that, you want to make sure that your setting foot is pointing in the direction of your aim. Regarding the shooting foot, it is important to remember to absolutely straighten your foot. And in addition to that, you want to make sure to hit the ball in the central foot area, right before your toes. Next, in the moment where you hit the ball, your hip needs to be pushed forward because it gives you a lot more strength in the core and it lets you develop a lot more power in your legs. Thirdly, the shoulders are the main reason why many young keepers have problems in hitting a long ball. You need to make sure to push the shoulders backwards, which automatically causes that your body weight is balanced a bit backwards, and as a result, you increase the height of your shooting. Which brings us to the last of our 4 pieces, the positioning of our arms. And exactly on that point, keepers from every level are doing the most mistakes. You need to make sure that the arm which is closest to the ball is pointing downwards, while the other arm is raised in the opposite direction. And those 2 components together provide you with a perfect diagonal strength, which improves the accuracy of your strike. Many keepers have the issue that they can't strike the ball over a very long distance, which brings us to the first common mistake. Your shooting foot is touching the ground right before you are hitting the ball. As the video indicates, the little touch with the ground slows down your shooting foot significantly, and therefore you lose a lot of range in your shooting. So, make sure that your shooting foot is not touching the ground while you're striking a long ball. Another mistake that is happening very often is that the setting foot is turning either too much to the inside or the outside. Remember, your setting foot always needs to point in the direction where you are aiming. And as you can see in the video, my setting foot is turning too much to the outside, and therefore I lose a bit balance in my shooting. I have recognized that a lot of youth GKeepers have the issue that their shooting foot is always a bit pulled upwards. You want to make sure their shooting foot is fully stretched out. And why? Because it helps you in being more consistent in shooting in the right direction and having a much cleaner strike. Last but not least, we're coming now to the most significant mistake that goalkeepers are doing. Especially when we are forced to strike the ball with our weak foot, goalkeepers tend to use a poor arm positioning. As you can see in the video, I'm exactly doing this mistake. The opposite arm of my shooting foot is not raised diagonally, which results in this very unbalanced positioning towards the ball. GKeepers, I really hope that you learned something new today. But before you going out in the field and trying to implement those new techniques in your play, I would really appreciate it if you could spread the word about this channel. by subscribing the channel, liking the video if you enjoyed watching it, and also follow me on my new social media pages. You can find the links in the description. See you soon.